Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our weekly, good coffee there. Welcome back to our Thursday morning Chumash study class, where we study every Thursday at 9:30 the teachings of Rabbi Wolbe on Chumash. This is from my grandfather. I wish it was my thoughts, but just wanted to share a small idea before we begin our regular program. So, the settlers of Catan, does anybody know what that is? So, settlers of Catan or Catan is a game. It is a very, very good game. You learn a lot of strategy. You learn how to deal with situations you weren't anticipating. You play it with other people. You have a board, and that board has pieces on the outside. You have cards that go on the inside, about 17, 18 cards that go on the inside. You have each one of those cards has a different type of quality. One is lumber, and one is ore, and one is brick, and each one has different qualities that together help you build a city, build a village, and you have all of these pieces. On top of each piece, you have a number, and then you have these little pieces of wood. Some are little sticks like this. Some look like a house. Some look like a hotel. And then you have dice, and then you have cards, and you have cards like this and cards like that. And you have so many different components. So if I were to give you this gift, I would give, I'm coming to your house, I could give you here's this gift, the Settlers of Catan. And I say to you, I want you to play this game, I want you to enjoy this game, but I'm not going to give you the instructions. I'm not going to give you the instructions. What is the likelihood that you will figure out how to play the game and enjoy it?
Depends how smart you are.
Even if you're the smartest person on earth, if you don't have the instructions, it will be virtually impossible to figure out how to play this game.
Yeah, you can make up your own rules.
It'll be virtually impossible. You can make up your own rules, but you know what? You're going to miss out on the fun of the game. You're not going to know what happens when, and it's very difficult to figure it out. And this is a little board game. That's the same with Monopoly. It's the same with any other game. If you don't know the rules, you're not going to be able to figure out how to play the game, and certainly not going to be able to know how to enjoy the game. So, Settlers of Catan comes in a box. It's in a box.
Who made the game? Is it an Israeli game?
No, some guy made up the game.
In the United States?
I have no idea. But a little child is born. A little child is born and lives in what we call life. What is more difficult? The game of Catan or life? I think life. If you cannot figure out the game of Catan without instructions, how in the world can we possibly figure out life without instructions? That is the gift that we have in the Torah. The Torah is the instructions to maximizing life. So, if you hear from someone when you're playing this board game, and they say, well, don't you know that that's the rule? Don't you know that that's the rule? What would you say?
Show me.
Open up the manual, open up the instructions, and let's see what the rules are. And we can have a disagreement on what the rules are, but we open up the manual and we see what is the correct way to play the game. Many times we hear things in the name of Judaism, or in the name of halakha, or the name of rabbis, or rules, or minhag, customs. why don't we say, you know what? Let's look into the instruction manual. Let's look ourselves and see whether or not this is really there or not there. And if it is, let's understand it to a greater depth. Let's not just take things face value. Oh, someone said that this is prohibited. This is, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. And people take it. Oh, well, it's a rabbi, so it has to be true. Rabbis make mistakes too. And we have to know that when we want to grow in our life, we have to have a manual working next to us so that we can properly navigate life. Life is very difficult. Life is very challenging. Every scenario, whether it be marriage, whether it be child rearing, whether it be earning a livelihood honestly, whether it be any topic a person goes into, any experience a person has in their life, it's addressed in the Torah. The Torah is the manual telling us how to maximize life. And that's what we try to do in our Torah classes throughout Torch, all throughout the spectrum of Torch. All of the 7 different divisions that we have, teaching from young adults to women to young couples to our synagogue programming and all of the other teachings that we share, is all trying to investigate that manual so that people can have the tools necessary to maximize pleasure in life, to maximize that game called life. So with that, my friends, let's not guess how to live that life. Let's not guess how to maximize the pleasure and enjoyment of life. Let's take out the book and let's read it and let's learn it and let's feel proud that this is our document. This is not some, we're hated throughout the world because we have the Torah. We're hated. Crazy thing happened yesterday in the UN. Anybody know what happened yesterday? Okay, so Israel has been condemned thousands of times in the UN.
We know that.
Yesterday, there was an amendment placed in the UN Security Council to reprimand Hamas. Not only that the amendment did not include the name Hamas, it failed in the vote. All right? The Jewish people have been targeted for millennia. Why? Because we have that document, and the nations of the world don't. It says that when the Torah descended at Sinai, you know what else descended? Sinah. Anybody know what Sinah is? Sinah is hatred. When the Torah descended at Sinai, hatred descended at Sinai. The hatred from the nations of the world. That's what happened. The nations of the world hate us and they despise us and they are jealous of us because we have that manual. It's not so difficult. Understanding anti-Semitism, you can try to do every study in the world and none of them will be effective or understandable without understanding the history of the Torah.
Could you define that better? I don't feel like most of the people hate us because they don't have the document.
Well, that's
they
not
hate us for millions of reasons.
Right, but deep down there's one underlying reasons. You can have a competition when you're in medical school, right, with the student who's doing a little bit better than you and they're getting better scores than you. So you may not like the way they drive after that and you'll excuse it on their driving. You might not like the way they dress and you'll excuse it on the way they dress. You might not like their hygiene, so you'll excuse it on their hygiene. You'll excuse it on everything else, but really deep down it's because they're doing better than you.
Right.
The nations of the world will give every excuse in the book. And they have.
Right, they have.
Think about it. We were expelled from lands, from governments, and from countries because we were too wealthy. We were expelled because we were too poor, right? When we were too wealthy, we're taking over. When we were too poor, we're leeches. We're taking up. We're eating up their. Whatever it was, when we weren't intermarrying, it was because you're being isolated. When they were intermarrying, right, it was because you're intermarrying, you're trying to take us. So every time there was an excuse.
Right.
This is not any encouragement, God forbid, to intermarriage. But the idea that it does not need to be rational. There's one underlying reason that, by the way, this is not something new. This is the Torah tells it to us. We're not surprised. The Torah tells it to us way back with Jacob and his brother Esau. It tells us then, this is the rule, this is the playbook. The nations of the world won't like us. So at least us, let us take that book and enjoy it. This is what we're hated for. Let's not run away from it. This is our treasure. It belongs to you and to you and to you and to you and to every single one of us.
You know, I agree with what you say, but I think there are a lot of nations that don't have any concept of the Torah per se.
And they still hate the Jews.
Well, of course, that was my point.
Right.
That a lot of people don't even know what the Torah is, and
But
they
it
still hate
stems
it.
from the initial hatred, I'm sure.
It all comes from the... You know what? Like Rabbi Yaakov said yesterday on his in his presentation, you know, sometimes there's a commotion. You just want to join the commotion without having any idea why. Now, are there people who love the Jewish people who are non-Jews? Absolutely. There are many of them. There are many non-Jews who love the Jewish people.
Yes,
but they're a minority. A huge minority.
You know, even in this week's Parsha, Onan, or I would
Right,
say his
right.
name, he wanted to join. He didn't know why he wanted
He
to.
didn't know why, exactly.
Thank God he had a good
Exactly.
wife.
Yeah, so I recommend everyone to watch the video from yesterday where Rabbi Yaakov spoke specifically about that, why Onan wanted to...
Just wanted to be part of the crowd for some reason.
Exactly. He wanted to be part of the excitement. So, my friends, thank you so much for joining us. Go play the game of Catan. Enjoy it. It's really a fabulous game. Actually, we're going to have it here at the Torch Center. Everyone's welcome. Under these chairs, they all have games. Here we have the game of chess, and we have Connect 4 under there, and we have Othello and checkers. We even have chips for poker. Yeah. So come and learn, and come and have a great time playing games with your favorite friends. So with that, my friends, thank you so much. Have a lovely Shabbos tomorrow night, and we're looking forward to seeing you here at the Torch Center. Always. Right? Always. Always classes going on. There's always something happening here. All right. Thank you, my friends. Have a great day.